Hello, friends! Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library, and my friend Ewing and I are here today to talk to you about a couple books that we're especially thankful for, because this week is Thanksgiving, and this is a really great time of year to be thankful for a lot of the things in our life, like our family, our friends, our health. But another thing that I really like to be thankful for, especially this time of year, that sometimes gets overlooked is books and authors because they bring us so much joy, right? So we should be thankful for them. So this year I decided to focus on one particular author, mostly because he just had two brand new books come out. And I have to say, I am exceedingly thankful for this author, who is Rick Riordan. I know you all know who Rick Riordan is, who wrote the Percy Jackson series and so many other series. But on top of that, he also has this Rick Riordan Presents series where basically he sponsors all these and promotes all these different books that feature all kinds of different cultures and mythologies with adventure stories, kind of like Percy Jackson, but there's all kinds of different Rick Riordan Present series, and a brand new one just recently came out that I'm super excited for, but also really thankful for as well. Because without Rick Riordan and him going over all these different cultures and promoting these books, there's a lot of things I would have never learned about otherwise. Like, take for example his brand new book, Pahua and the Soulstealer by Lori M. Lee. So it's written by Lori M. Lee, but it is a Rick Riordan Presents book. So this book features the Hmong people and the Hmong culture. And I didn't know anything about this culture before reading this book. But the Hmong people originated in the mountainous regions of China and then migrated throughout Southeast Asia. So there's so many really cool things in this book. And of course, it's got the traditional humor and excitement and adventure and danger that I've come to expect with all the Rick Riordan books and the Rick Riordan Presents book. So this book is about a young girl named Pahua who can see spirits. But she hasn't told anybody she can see spirits because she's pretty sure she's the only one in her family that can, and she doesn't want people to think she's weird or crazy, right? So she has a best friend spirit who is this little tiny black cat named Miv, who always follows her around everywhere, and she's the only one that can see him. And she's picked on a lot at school because she's different. She's the only girl from her ethnic group that's in her class, so she doesn't really have a lot of friends. Everybody kind of gives her a hard time for the different food and stuff that she eats, which is really difficult. One day, her and her brother, her younger brother, are going past this bridge, and she inadvertently frees this bridge spirit that she makes contact with. Oops. Totally by accident. And when she gets home later that day, she finds that her brother is getting really sick and he's not getting better. And she thinks that this spirit has something to do with that. So she has to go on this big quest to try to save her brother's soul before it's too late. And of course, there's all kinds of monsters and creatures that she has to encounter. But the strength that she has to find mostly, of course, is within herself, right? Like all great adventure stories. I love this book. So I originally heard that this was a standalone book, that it was only going to be by itself. But once I got to the end, there are so many things more that can be brought out of this story. So I have a feeling that there are going to be more books. I don't know at this time when or how long it will be before they come out. But this book is just, it sets it up to be such a rich and vibrant world that I'm really excited about. And I would be really sad if it was a standalone book because I want to read more about it. So if you love Rick Riordan books, like I said, this is a very, on par with a lot of that. It's got a really cool culture to learn about. It's got action, it's got adventure, it's got fantasy, it's got magic, it's got really cool characters who have to find the strength within themselves to succeed. Whew. I love this book, and you should love it too. I think you will. So check it out today, Pahua and the Soulstealer, brand new Rick Riordan Presents book. So speaking of Rick Riordan, that was his brand new Presents book, but he has his own brand new book that has come out. And I haven't heard a lot of people around the library talking about it yet. I feel like I'm the only one that knows about this. And that can't be true, right? You guys are dying to read this book, aren't you? You have to be. Rick Riordan wrote it. It's a brand new book. And this book is called Daughter of the Deep. Ooh, look at how cool that cover is. Daughter of the Deep. Now, as far as I know, it's the same sort of situation where this is supposed to be a standalone book. However, when I got to the end, it's just, there's so much room for more story. And I'm hoping that he ends up turning this into a bigger part of a series because it's amazing. So this is about a main character whose name is Anna Drakkar, and she goes to this school called the Harding Pencraft Institute, where they learn all kinds of really cool nautical stuff, marine biology, things like that. Her older brother goes there too. He's a senior and she's a freshman starting this year. So the freshman trials, right, are this series of things that assignments that she has to accomplish, the freshman class all together. But as they're on the bus on the way to this trial, a tragedy happens. And I don't want to tell you what it is or give it away because I want you to have the same reaction I did when you read it, which is, oh my gosh. So you have to read it to find out what happens. So basically, Anna then finds out she is a part of this huge, huge destiny because of her lineage. She is actually descended from Captain Nemo from the story 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So she's part of this whole big lineage. She has to learn all these things that she didn't know about, and she finds out that the school, the Harding Pencraft Institute, is actually at war with this other school called the Land Institute, and she is now a part of that as well. So there's all these crazy new things. This book is full of everything. It has undersea battles. It has these amazing undersea creatures. It has dolphins. It has huge octopi. It has a lot of really great family dynamics and friendship dynamics too. Everything you would expect from Rick Riordan is here. There's a lot of humor. I laughed out loud a lot of times through this book. And it was really cool to see him write a story that didn't have to do with mythology per se. Basically, like I said, this book is does a lot of comparisons to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. You don't have to have read that book to enjoy this book. They talk about all the things that link them together in this story, so you won't be lost or anything like that if you haven't read it. But you might want to come out of this book saying, hey, that book sounds really cool. I want to read about Captain Nemo and all his undersea adventures. So this is just a fantastic adventure story, full of heart, as always, with Rick Riordan. I loved it so much. And like I said, if you are a longtime fan of Rick Riordan, this is a book that can't be missed. You have to read it right away. But even if you're just starting out with him and you've never read anything from him before, but you're just looking for a great, engaging story that's fast-paced and fun, this is what you want to read. Super great book, Daughter of the Deep. Brand new story by Rick Riordan. So that's what we've got for you today. Like I said, I really wanted to talk about an author that I'm so thankful for this season, especially because he's brought so much joy to a lot of people's lives. So I'd like you guys to all think about some authors and some books that you're really thankful for too, and why you're thankful for them. And then let me know next time I see you in the library. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of the day and have a great Thanksgiving.